Alright, guys, today on Vivace Lifestyle, we would be talking about loneliness and what to do about it, or what it feels like. And if you've never felt lonely, then good for you, because it's a very common emotion. So I'm gonna read some things out of my diary about loneliness, and I'm gonna talk about them, I guess. So here we go. I have three separate paragraphs, so I'm gonna go like one at a time and then talk about it. Okay, so no one ever wants to feel lonely, yet so often people don't use that knowledge to take the initiative to make someone feel less lonely. Sometimes that person that helps another out of a ditch has just gotta be you. No matter how down or heartbroken you are, you just gotta push right past and get down to what's important. So I guess, okay, this was December 19th, 2017. Around the time was, I went to U of I after graduation, and I came home, and it was just, U of I is a whole different story, honestly, but I came home after 2 months, and I kind of fell into depression around like November, December, and this is one of the things I wrote, I guess, when I was depressed. It did feel really lonely. Like, all my friends were away at school, and I had barely made any good ones at U of I. And around holiday time, everyone's doing their own thing. And even though I wanted to see people, I don't think I would have been able to in the way that I was thinking. And I just I wouldn't have brought myself to actually go hang out with somebody. It was like some anxiety or depression thing where I just wanted to, but I didn't want to get out and do it. Okay, so I guess I was thinking that I had to do everything by myself and pull myself out of whatever I was feeling, and that's not true, but you often feel like that if you are dealing with something by yourself. You feel like you have to keep going at it alone. You can't tell anyone what you're feeling, and you feel like no one's gonna be there to help you. But I know for a fact now that the people closest to me, my family and friends that I was unsure of, they were there for me, and I just had to tell them a little bit, and they were willing to help. And even though it didn't help right away, and that I did stay kind of in that little mindset for a long time after it, I've come to the realization now, like 2 or 3 years later, that yes, people are there for you, and you aren't going to be alone even though you feel lonely. And feeling lonely doesn't mean you're alone. It means that you feel alone. And the second you realize and know in your head that you're not alone, and you let it sink down into your heart, you will not feel lonely anymore. Okay. Second part. I fear being alone. I fear not being wanted or loved. No matter how many people I surround myself with, no matter how many people I may call a friend, there's always that lingering fear that no one will call you first when something goes wrong. No one will see you walk away and come chasing after you. No one will say you're the one and the only one. There's always that feeling of insecurity. My heart yearns to have someone care about me as much as I care about them. I don't know what I was talking about exactly by the one in this paragraph, but I know that it kind of means like I want to be someone's best friend. And even like my best friend then, I felt like she had someone else or a bunch of other people that she would go to, and not me, even though I was her closest friend in high school. And it just felt like all my friends were doing all their own things and making new friends and replacing me. But the truth is, nobody can be replaced. You're there as a friend for somebody, and if you're their best friend, you're always going to be the best friend for something. it might not be for every little thing. Like you might have a sport best friend and a crafting best friend, but you're never going to be replaced. So I learned that. And being the one doesn't exist, I don't think, besides like that small time where you're dating one person and don't have any kids, because you're always going to have someone, many someones that you care about, and you're like the one to them and they're the one to you, but you're never going to be the only one. Okay, next section. I fear doing wrong. I fear doing the smallest things will turn someone from me. I fear that I do something that make people not like me. I fear the thoughts that I've done something terrible to myself by being me. I always think that everything that happens to me must be my fault, and in a sense it's not. But in another sense it is. I can never walk around being mean to people, and I cannot expect them to turn away or leave me alone. Yet, I do not believe I have hurt anyone, but I still feel so alone. I have always felt the need to be somebody's first, and one somebody would come to for advice first, and one somebody would always want to have over first. The one somebody would ask first upon finding out they had an extra seat at a movie. Yet, I feel as though I have never been that one. Alright. Being that one is difficult because you have to be there for sure. You're the one that I want forever in my life, and there's no one else that I would rather be with than you. And I don't know, even at the time that I wrote that, I don't think I would have had that one in my life, like that I would say, oh, I have this, want to come with me? Like, I would have asked maybe one of 3 different people at any given time. So for me to say that, it's kind of like, what do you want? Like, you can't always have that because it's just not possible. I feel like even when you have a wife or husband, you will still ask other people first. You'll be going to other people for advice for your relationship or marriage or kids. You won't always ask your husband. So yeah, I just think I was wanting something that didn't really exist, and now I realize it doesn't exist, and I hope I've helped you. If you feel lonely, I hope I've helped you figure out or realize that loneliness is something you feel, and you can fight that feeling with different thoughts, and hopefully one day you'll realize that loneliness in your life just shouldn't exist, because people will care about you, but they'll never come to you for everything first. So you wanting that is unreasonable, and you can change that mindset you have. Alright guys, that's it for my loneliness video. I hope you liked it. Make sure you like and subscribe to my channel if you want to listen to more talks about different emotions and mental health issues. Alright, see you guys later.